Good morning, children. Our today's topic is parasitism. Parasitism is a type of association of two organisms in which one organism get benefit and other is harmed. The organism which is harmed is considered as host and which is benefited is a parasite. Generally, we can say that parasitic mode of life ensures the free lodging and meals. That means parasites get the free lodging in the body of the host and also absorbs the food from the host body. That means parasitic mode of nutrition is very common in higher vertebrates and in various taxonomic groups. Now, this is one fact that parasites and its host, both of them live together, hence they tend to co-evolve also. As it is written that many parasites evolve to be host specific. Host specific, that means this, suppose a parasite is there, so it is a parasite of a particular host. It cannot parasitized to any other plant or any other animal. It is a parasite to a particular host only. Like Plasmodium, it is a parasite of mosquito and human being. So its life cycle is completed in these two hosts and none of else. So that way parasites are very much host specific also, so that parasite and host tend to co-evolve. Now one another concept, that what are the adaptations of the parasites. So this is one question, write the adaptations of parasites. So parasites have various adaptations to be a parasite, like rejecting or resisting the mechanism and this is one more concept of co-evolving. Co-evolving, that means what? Adaptations are written here. Co-evolving means what? How do they co-evolve? That means the parasite actually, first of all, host actually reject and resist the parasite, and parasite evolve the mechanism to counteract and neutralize the host rejection. Again I am repeating here, there should be no confusion here. We are again taking up the example, how do they both of them co-evolve. They co-evolve in this manner. How? First of all, the host actually develops the mechanism of rejecting and resisting the parasite, and parasite develops the mechanism to counteract and neutralize the rejection and resistance of the host. So that way these two, host and parasite, co-evolve with each other. Now here it is coming that what are the adaptations which are present in the parasites to be survive or to be living inside the body of the host or outside the body of a host. So number one, adaptation. First adaptation, it is a question, write the adaptation of parasites. So loss of unnecessary sense organ, because they are to sometime live inside the body of the host, so unnecessary sense organs are missing. Number two, presence of adhesive organs or suckers to cling on the host body. They have to get the attachment inside the body of the host. For that they need adhesive organs like suckers. Next is loss of digestive system, because they directly absorbs the food from the host body. High reproductive capacity, they multiply inside the body of host like ascaris and multiplies many times to increase their number into the host body, as you have seen in the case of malarial parasite Plasmodium also. This is one point. So how many points we have discussed? This is definition, this is how do they co-evolve, and what is their adaptation. Now the fourth one is coming. Fourth heading which we are to discuss here, that the life cycle of the parasites actually most of the time is having more than one host to facilitate the parasitization of primary host. Like here they have taken up the example of liver fluke, that is a trematode or it belongs to the class Platyhelminthes, it has two hosts, that is snail and fish. Similarly, malarial parasite life cycle you have already seen. Its two hosts are mosquito and human being. Similarly, the tapeworm whose hosts are pig and human being. So that way most of the parasite are having more than one host. Now, parasite always harms the host body and they reduce the survival and growth and reproduction of the host and reduce their population density. Another point, that how do parasites harms the host? So parasites harm the host by reducing their survival, by reducing their growth, by reducing their reproduction and by reducing their population density. They might render the host most vulnerable to predation by making it physically weak. Because of parasitization, the host become very weak, so it may attacked by any other organism also or any other predator also. Now here comes the types of parasites. So parasites are two types, ectoparasite and the endoparasite. Ectoparasites, those who actually feed on the external surface of the host organism. Example number 1. The lices on the humans and ticks on the dogs are the example of ectoparasite. Another example of ectoparasite are copepods, which are the ectoparasites of fishes. Plant parasite. Cuscuta is a plant parasite because it is yellow in color. It lacks chlorophyll. During the course of evolution it has lost its chlorophyll, so that it cannot prepare its food, so it depends on another plant for absorbing its food. So that Cuscuta is an example of plant parasite. Female mosquito, here they have given one question, is not considered as parasite because here I have written the answer because they have asked the question, because it has a temporary association with the host. Now it is coming the endoparasite. Endoparasites example they have not given, I will quote you, but the definition is that they live inside the host body, like in the various organ, kidney, lungs, red blood cell, etc. They also causes harms to the host. They have some morphological and anatomical feature which makes them very simplified to live inside the body of host and also emphasize their reproductive potential. As in the adaptation of parasite, you have seen that they should reproduce much more time inside the body of host. Example of the endoparasite are Ascaris, tapeworm, plasmodium, liver fluke, etc., which is not given here. Now the last one. Last one, here they have taken up the topic of brood parasitism. Brood means nest. So cuckoo and koel, these two are the example of brood parasitism. Actually, in brood parasitism, what adaptation should be there? In which the parasitic bird lays its egg into the nest of the host bird and host incubate them. So how do host actually do not recognize that these are the eggs of some other bird, not of it? Because during the course of evolution, the parasite bird have evolved to resemble the host egg. Here the parasite bird is koel and its eggs are resembling the eggs of the crow in size and color.